Alright guys, Chelsea have just drawn 1-1 with, well I say just drawn, it's the morning after, so Chelsea have drawn 1-1 with Leicester City. It wasn't the most important game ever, but it was good to see Leicester look defensively better. They've been shocking in defence so far this season, and now that they've got a couple of their players back in Johnny Evans and Wesley Fofana, they do look a lot better. And yeah, Chelsea with a more dominant side, but that was partly down to Leicester's game plan. It was to strike Chelsea on the counter attack, which they did early on. Kasper Schmeichel sort of made a clearance that fortunately fell at the feet of Timothy Castagna after a bit of confusion from Alonso and Rudiger, and Castagna deflects a pass off Rudiger to Maddison, and Maddison takes it round Thiago Silva, hits it hard at Edouard Mendy's near post, and he had to hit it perfectly if he was going to go for the near post, and he did. Then it went just inside the post and in to make it 1-0. Chelsea equalised about 20 minutes later from Marcus Alonso. A really nice ball from Reece James over the top, and Alonso, probably one of Chelsea's most technically gifted players, hits it first time with his left foot on the volley and gets it in the bottom right corner. And yeah, that was it goals wise. But yeah, what Leicester did really well is they didn't allow Chelsea to have any clear cut chances, except from one in the second half, which Christian Pulisic is absolutely criminal that he didn't finish. It was good play from Reece James and Lukaku. Lukaku plays it along across the box to Pulisic, who just completely mishits it, gets poor contact on it, and misses what should have been an easy chance. And yeah, that's been the story of Pulisic's week really, because he missed a few good chances at the weekend against Liverpool in the FA Cup final, which he should have scored. But yeah, the difference in Leicester when Fofana and Evans are playing is incredible, really. I think Johnny Evans has got to go down as one of the Premier League's most underrated players of the decade, to be honest, because when you think about what he achieved at Man United, I know he wasn't one of the main men whilst he was there, but he still won 2 or 3 Premier Leagues. I'm not sure if he was part of the side that won Champions League in 2008. But then once he left Man United in around 2014, he went to West Brom, and except from the season West Brom got relegated, he had a few good seasons at West Brom. I remember there was one season where they were at one point pushing for a European spot. So yeah, he was part of quite a solid West Brom defence that also had Gareth McCauley, who else? Craig Dawson, and who did they have a left back? It'll come to me in a minute. No, I've forgotten. Um, no. Who did West Brom have at left back? That's really going to frustrate me now. I'll forget it. Yeah, but and since then he's moved to Leicester. Of course, I think it was around 2018. Yeah, the year West Brom got relegated. And I personally think, like, when he was partnered alongside Harry Maguire, he made Harry Maguire look very good. Harry Maguire's not bad. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't a bad player for Leicester. But like having Johnny Evans alongside him, I think definitely helped him, because at Man United so far, for the majority of his time at Man United, Harry Maguire hasn't had that sort of player alongside him. Like Lindelof's all right, but I think Johnny Evans is a better defender than Victor Lindelof. Um, so yeah, that hasn't helped Maguire since he's been at Man United, but Johnny Evans is a quality defender. And Fofana as well is a good young defender. Um, but yeah, it was a really good performance defensively from Leicester. Chelsea were dominant but just couldn't create any chances. Lukaku had a few good touches, a few good layoffs, but couldn't overly get involved really again. It's just not been his year this season, Lukaku. I mean, he's going to have enough opportunity at Chelsea next season because they've spent that much money on attackers over the past few years since their transfer ban that I don't think they can go out and afford to spend more on another one, especially when this summer they need to focus on their defence because of the amount of players they're losing. So yeah, I think he's probably going to get another chance next season, Lukaku, because they've also spent massive amounts of money on Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, as well as Lukaku. Pulisic not too long ago as well. So yeah, I think he'll definitely get another opportunity next season. But yeah, for Leicester though, obviously it's been a disappointing season. I think they're currently ninth in the table, so that's definitely a lot lower than they would have wanted to be at the start of the season. But I think it's the same with Liverpool last season. Like, obviously, Liverpool's injuries came generally in one position, just centre backs, but they had absolutely no one at centre back. Whereas Leicester has still had Soyuncu, Amati, Vestergaard, who have all been relatively poor this season. Amati's not been too bad, but Soyuncu and Vestergaard have been quite poor. But Leicester's has been spread out amongst the team because they've missed Vardy for big portions of the season. Who else? Pereira, Evans, Fofana, Ndidi, and yeah, just so many players. And so that is ultimately the reason they have finished lower. But also, I think they might struggle a bit next season because other teams have also caught up a little bit, I feel now, like the teams like Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham. So if Leicester are going to get a European spot next season, they are going to have to do quite well, I think, because there'll be a lot of competition for it. And Chelsea tonight have pretty much secured themselves a Champions League spot now. So yeah, that's good for them. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.